This is me combing my hair.
Shake your hair.
This is me combing it.
Shake your hair.
Did I do it? It
I don't
looks
know.
great.
Did I do it?
Looks wonderful. Yours always looks great. I need a haircut.
Mine always looks like something attacked it.
It looks effortless.
It's effortless. It's an effortless attack.
Mine's just getting heavy.
Which is why I just cut all mine off.
Mine gets heavy, so instead of doing nice fluffy up thing, it's like, no, I'm tired.
You know, that's why
like
I
gravity.
just chopped it all off, and I think I'm gonna re-chop a couple inches off here soon.
I'll go
Let me
with you.
close
I need
this.
to get mine chopped.
This is getting a little bright.
When you go,
Yes,
we can make a double date of it on the Saturday.
We could be those cute people who sit next to each other
under the hair dryers, and we'll read magazines and talk about.
We'll just be catty bitches.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, queen.
I'll be like, did you see that bitch's liner?
Sorry, what are we double dating?
Haircuts.
We're actually not double dating. I used the wrong phrase. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We're just having a date.
Girls' date.
There's a bartender, Nick, playing video games behind the camera. And a dog barking underneath the table.
There's so many things.
There's a menagerie here.
Yeah, don't break the fourth wall. It's crazy.
Fourth wall. Fourth wall. Fourth wall. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't have a hair. Let me get that out. Okay. Anything else pre-stream? Oh, Patreon people. We're not officially announcing what we're going to do.
Oh.
And I know sometimes we say we're going to do shit and then it kind of fizzles out. We are actually going to do shit this summer.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be really cool.
We're already planning.
And we are actually planning it. We are working out. The Grace has finished her semester.
Finished my semester. I've got one summer school class, but bitch, please. I don't even have to do well in it. I just have to get credit for it. And that came straight from my advisor. Because I'm taking a transient course at the local community college to get my science.
I think you have to be in college to use the term transient.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's a transient course to get my science requirement because I'm a communications major, so science is not a thing I'm actually going to be integrating into my work.
Science is not a thing I need to know.
In order to spend a little bit less money on the course, they're giving me the option to take it at the local community college.
Is it the bio one?
It's a bio class.
Oh, I'm fucking excited.
It's 8 weeks.
Is it weird that I'm excited for your bio class?
Yeah, well, I wish the book wasn't $100.
Oh.
Because I'm like, it's literally 8 weeks of a class that I don't want to take.
We should be able to rent them.
Agreed.
Can you get a digital version for cheaper?
I looked and looked. Oh. It's the professor teaches at the school that I'm going to, so it's exclusive to that school.
Oh.
So fuck this bitch. But anyway, my advisor told me herself, because she has no allegiance to the CC.
Yeah.
She goes, you don't even have to do well. You just have to pass, because all we take is their credit.
Yeah.
What you do here is what matters.
Exactly. That works.
And at our school, I've got like a 3.9, bitches.
Bitch.
Yeah. So
Dean's List shit.
What I'm saying is
we have time to commit to this project.
Yes.
That we are doing, and it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be exclusive to the Patreon. It's just going to be for you guys.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be really, 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 really awesome, and I'm super, super excited.
I'm ready.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. What am I doing? Oh, I'm hitting record. 171. Welcome to episode 171 of There's No Place Like Terra, Stargate First Watch Rewatch Podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace, and today we're going over SG1, Season 8, Episode 10, Endgame, a.k.a. Holy crap, I didn't think of it.
A.k.a. Not Avengers.
Not Avengers. A.k.a. Not Avengers.
That's kind of the only one I thought of. We'll come up with better one as we go, as usual.
We'll find it yes. I totally forgot. I was like, I'll go back to that. And then as I'm reading it, I'm literally reading which episode.
Well, here's the thing. I know what your possible AKA is, but we can't say it because it might hint to the thing that we're going to be doing for the Patreons this summer.
Oh, that's true.
So you can't say what I think what you want the AKA to be.
I already know what you're thinking, and that is what I'm thinking.
It is, but you can't say it because then we might tease it early for the Patreon people.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Anything else before we get into this? We survived the Battle of Winterfell last week.
We survived in the Endgame
of
other types.
Yeah, we talked about Endgame last week, but we hadn't gotten to
the
watch
Battle of Winterfell.
The Battle of Winterfell yet.
To quote Liam O'Brien, rogues, man.
Rogues.
That's where we'll leave it.
Can I just say,
in case anyone hasn't watched it, spoilers now.
Can I just say, it's the second time. Listen, I'm watching a fuck ton of Critical Role, and it's the second week in a row where I thought of not just Critical Role, but specifically of Vax in the middle of Game of Thrones with things related to Arya.
Yeah, well.
Because the episode before that, she took 3 daggers and then hit a wall, and I basically
she did dagger,
yell out dagger, dagger, dagger.
Okay, the spoiler section is now over.
It was like barely spoilers.
You never know who's behind.
I mean, I know my parents haven't seen it yet, and I told them that if they don't go see it today, then no one can be held responsible for their.
Well, fair.
I mean, they were out of the country for a week, but I don't know if that counts as an excuse.
I don't want to get too far into Critical Role because then I will have to betray my feelings. My unrequited 14-year-old style crush on Dallas and Jesse.
We both have crushes on different people in that cast,
but
and it's okay.
Appropriate things are appropriate.
It's okay. We don't have any D&D updates yet for our own game because we have not played yet today.
But we might play today.
Hopefully, we have time. Alrighty.
Let's get into it.
September 17th, 2004.
The day after Mexican Independence Day.
Is it?
September 16th.
In
case all y'all are wondering, because Cinco de Mayo just happened.
Isn't Cinco de Mayo?
Let me educate you.
Mexican. I mean, it's Cinco de Mayo today.
Cinco de Mayo is
as
today.
We're recording.
I'll quote a friend of mine who wrote this on Facebook. She happens to be in Mexico right now. She goes, it might have been some other meme or tweet where she's like, I'm going to celebrate exactly as the people in Mexico did by doing nothing. She's in Mexico now, and literally, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's a battle that was fought. It's like celebrating the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, it is like
it's an important thing, but it's not.
No one's getting shit-faced on tequila and dancing around.
That's a very American view of the holiday.
Yeah.
I'm off my soapbox. Sorry. Okay. I didn't think I had one, but
to be fair, I think by osmosis, I've gotten on that soapbox a couple times before, including the other day.
Also, tacos don't belong in crunchy shells. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
No, it can go on top of crunchy things.
It could go on top of crunchy things.
The insides of a taco can go on crunchy things.
Yeah. And
but I'm not a crunchy taco fan.
That's not what a taco is.
No.
That's what a Taco Bell thing is. It's what fast food is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So this was written by Joan Paul and directed by Peter
Malozzi. I always think of cheese when I say his name.
Wait, who?
Malozzi, right? Joe or
this is Peter.
Oh,
Mr. DeLuise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was the Malozzi guy.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's a mozzarella brand that's called like Marzetti, and so every time it's Malozzi, I think of cheese.
So
everything is cheese.
Listen, cheese is very important in life. I mean, I can relate most things back to cheese.
All right, I'm gonna let you do it.
So the main guest there's a couple guest stars in this one, but the main one I would point out is Brandy Ledford, who played I forget her name till we get later. The Toker lady.
Oh yes.
Who died real quick.
Yeah.
We hardly knew ye.
The Toker cameo.
But most people, including me, recognize her from the 5th season of Andromeda, where she played Doyle. She plays a robot lady.
Super don't know that, but I do think she's kind of a badass.
Andromeda is fun. Nice. Like Andromeda is, if nothing else, fun.
I like remember.
It can be low on your list of things to watch.
Okay. I keep remembering weird things that I want to rewatch. Like yesterday, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remembered the remake of the show The Prisoner.
I didn't even know there was a remake.
So there was in the mid aughts, I guess.
Yeah.
It was Jim Caviezel played the lead, played number 6.
Uh-huh.
And Ian McKellen was in it as well.
I now want to see it when I had no cares before.
It was like a weird AMC miniseries thing.
Huh.
And it's just very strange. It felt like a drug trip.
All I know is basically Ian McKellen is one of the few people where you can drop their name and I'm like, yes, please.
So at some point I want to watch that.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
I just remembered it existed. Every now and then that happens because that's one of those that I watched and it was so weird that it felt like I dreamt it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You may go back and find out that never existed.
What if it doesn't exist? What if Gilmore Girls is all in my head?
There's clear childhood memories I have where I try to go, hey, remember when this happened? And everyone's like,
That never happened.
that? What?
Recently, on Imager, someone posted, well, not that recent, but they posted today's special. I don't know if you remember that show.
No.
So now I know that it was real and it wasn't something I tried.
It wasn't a fever dream?
But listen, because it's going to sound like one.
Okay.
It was a PBS kids show.
Okay.
With a real camera, not Muppet, not cartoons.
A real camera.
A real camera, not cartoons. And it had two Muppets. One was a security guard, old guy named Sam, and one was a mouse named Muffy. And they lived in a department store. Well, the security guard took care of the department store.
I'm having
yeah,
flashes.
Hang on, there's more.
Okay.
And then also there's a woman who works the overnight in a department store, and she just like preps the clothes for the next day. So they all just exist in this department store. And then there's a guy, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he's a mannequin during the day. And during the night, she puts his magic hat on that matches his vest.
Can I tell you what's happening in my head right now? I'm having flashes as if I remember this, but the other half of the flashes I'm seeing is Shining Time Station.
It's not Shining Time Station.
I understand it's not Shining Time Station. I'm just saying the
but
flashes
the hat
I have
is very similar.
It's like flashing to Shining Time Station.
It is funny. I'm trying to IMDb. It doesn't come up.
Because no one cares.
Oh, it does. It does. It does come up. It does come up. But for a very long time,
nope.
I thought that this was something I made up in my head. And then she's in love with the guy in the vest, and now you'll see where Grace's type comes from.
Yeah.
Because the guy who is the mannequin at night, but a person during the day, is Grace's type.
That is a really bizarre statement.
Yeah, it's weird.
This week on Stargate.
Okay, but look at the mouse.
That thing is terrifying.
It is. Well, the security guard is terrifying.
That thing is on drugs. The security guard I recognize.
Guys, I'm sorry that you can't see this, but here, I'm going to show it to the video people.
Okay.
Creepy.
Alrighty.
All done.
So
sorry,
on Stargate
I'm
done. This is actually our first non-cliffhanger mid-season ender since it moved to Sci-Fi.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There is like months off after this.
Well, no wonder. I mean, it would have been a great time for a cliffhanger, but also would have been torturous.
It would have been horrible. Trust me, don't worry. You get your cliffhanger in Atlantis.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm ready.
So previously on SG1,
yes.
Remember that time that Tok'ra made a symbiote poison, and the Gould got Asgard beaming tech because they probed Thor's mind.
I will tell you that I hope you're proud of me.
Yes.
I paid zero attention during the previous Leon, so I didn't ruin the episode.
Yay!
Not just because I'm bad at paying attention.
And then Richard Branson got into witness protection on the planet.
Right, Elon Musk.
And we learned about the
Richard
trust.
Musk, if you will.
Richard Musk.
Oh wait, Elon Branson sounds more like an
Branson.
eccentric millionaire. Yeah. That's gonna be my new alias, like Burt Macklin. Elon Branson.
Elon Branson.
Eccentric millionaire.
Elon Branson Esquire. And the trust, they're cool. They're like what the NID shifted into, and mysterious.
The farts.
Yep. So we get to the present.
The Slayer's. Okay, I'm done. The trust, the class.
Never mind. Okay. Here's the thing, you ruined my plan.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking.
No. The plan had nothing to do with Stargate.
Okay.
The plan was I was going to end this episode with a Critical Role reference. And
we'll leave it.
Test people. But the problem is I was going to test people on find the Critical Role reference in the episode, and now it's the entire goddamn episode's Critical Role.
Damn. Okay.
It'll still be funny when I get to it because I planned it, but I planned it as if it was going to be spontaneous, and I've told everyone the reference.
This is what happens when we don't compare notes.
Going to be great.
Bye, seat of our pants, guys. We haven't even gotten to the opening credits.
Walter doesn't sleep ever. He's just always there.
Yeah.
He's an elf. He requires no sleep.
He's just a little badass.
He is. We love Walter. But another tech, Mackenzie, comes in complaining about the graveyard shift. And Walter's like, listen, it may be 3 a.m. here, but it is noon on other planets. And at any point in time, a team could come in hot through that Stargate. And we need to be here. And then they look at the Stargate and it's quiet.
I'm going to use the Walter theory anytime I want to drink in the morning. Guys, it's 5 p.m. on another planet somewhere. Pour one out for my homies.
Exactly. Oh, we do need to raise a glass to Mr. Peter Mayhew, though.
Oh,
that reminds me. I meant to do that earlier. One of the most tender-hearted, generous people in the world, who created one of the most tender-hearted, generous, most beloved characters known to mankind.
I don't know that a gentle giant is appropriate for Chewie, but it's definitely appropriate for Peter Mayhew.
100%.
But we'll miss you.
Yes. So,
also somebody protect Mark Hamill
and
Harrison Ford, dear God.
No, really.
Put them in bubbles.
Bubble boy. Bubble boy.
Yeah.
And
So
then they just go and get some coffee because what else are you gonna do at 3 a.m.?
Can we talk about how close the coffee machine is next to all those machines?
Listen, it's important.
Sure, but maybe put it on a card on the other side of the racks. That control the gate.
It needs to be here.
I'm not even saying it has to leave the room. Just not against the fucking. Like, I'm not an engineer, but the engineer in me hurts at how close the coffee machine is to all the other things.
Don't worry, there's another part in the episode coming up that's gonna hurt your soul even more.
Boy.
And then Mackenzie's like, do you ever, when you're here late at night, just think about dialing up the gate just for fun when you're here on your own? And Walter's like, no.
Yeah. Walter's like, bitch, please.
And they're doing a great job watching the gate.
Because it just
disappears.
Yeah, good job, guys.
There is a Stargate-sized missing object when they turn around.
In their defense, there's nothing they could have fucking done.
Nothing.
But also, how about let's not both turn our backs to the gate at the same time?
To be fair, what are the odds that the Stargate's just going to disappear?
Sure.
I mean, the thing's been sitting there forever.
This is indicative of an everyday type of occasion. Like, how casually are we watching?
It just has to be someone with their eyes on the gate.
It's not like it's talking. It's not like when the dogs are outside playing and I can hear them and I can look
just
away.
Someone eyes on gate at all times.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to blink. You watch the gate.
Ready, go.
Okay.
But every now and then, go outside, make sure it's still there.
I mean, there's a giant window.
I don't know. What if it's a false front? Okay, I'm done. That just gave me a great idea.
Maybe it's just like an illusion spell.
That's exactly where my brain went. I was like, oh
invisibility.
shit, minor illusion. Gotta save that.
Throw fairy fire.
Filing that away.
Credits. So when we come back, Daniel is interviewing Mackenzie and Walter, asking basically what the actual fuck happened.
Yeah, I love this. I love Walter's buddy who's like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
We're in trouble because we got coffee.
Walter's like, what the fuck gonna happen? Oh, yeah. They're like, no, I didn't notice anything. I mean, there's not really anything they could have done.
Yeah.
How much trouble you're gonna get into. But I do love when they're like, yeah, we were just getting coffee. He's like, you got coffee?
Yeah.
And he gets real serious.
I love when Daniel learns to fuck with people.
Daniel would not have done this for the first couple seasons.
No, not at all.
And it's amazing.
He's a good dude. He learns well. He learns how to be a fuck around dude very well.
Because he starts fucking with Jack later too.
Yeah,
and it's so fantastic. I love Daniel in this episode.
Yeah.
It's like
he's having fun.
Because it's like when he's learned enough from Jack that it's fantastic. So in the briefing room, Jack and Daniel are looking out at the gateless gate room. And
the room's like, what am I even here for now? What is my purpose?
What is my motivation as a groom? And Daniel would really hate to be the person who has to explain to the president what happened. And the look Jack gives him is beautiful.
Yeah, like
So
I gotta tell you that things are not looking great for Jack's first year.
no,
Like his annual review is gonna suck.
yeah,
It's gonna be like, all right, cool. So we had a lockdown
Mhm.
where the world almost ended.
Mhm.
We're in a situation where you almost quit.
Can I say, to be fair, it's not like Hammond's yearly review read much differently.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yes. And we will get to Jack's feelings about his job near the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Because that's a conversation.
Yeah, he's not happy.
So Sam has her surveillance footage of the gate room, and yeah, it just like disappeared. But it definitely looks like an Asgard beaming disappeared, not just poof disappeared. There's no smoke bomb.
Yeah.
And usually Jack's like, they ask before they do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
But the more logical thought that Sam has
is it though? Because how often has Jack been stolen out of rooms?
The more logical thought that Sam has is Anubis, and now therefore Ball,
Yeah.
had the technology too, because the whole Thor mind probe.
Yeah.
And really, there's no clue who to blame at this moment. They have a lot of options, and without the gate,
what do we do?
you can't get intel. They can't go anywhere.
What's our job now?
And now Jack gets to go make a call as he death glares at Daniel. We also learned that Teal'c is at the Jaffa Future Leaders of Tomorrow conference.
I don't know what else.
And
my favorite thing.
And as protocol states that if he can't check in with Earth, he'll head to the Alpha site. ERF. To ARF. Which he does, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it's been 7 hours since they've lost contact with Earth.
Right.
They can get a wormhole established, but it's near, it's at Earth. It hasn't been like taken off the planet. It's still usable when you dial the planet. But they get a do not proceed out of office message when they try to radio in.
It's like the caller you have dialed
is no longer available.
Yeah.
And they can't get anyone on the radio, so everyone is on the worried bus.
Yeah.
Teal'c's driving it at the moment.
Yep, get on up.
Teal'c's gonna head back to the Jaffa conference planet and get a cargo ship and head back to Earth the long way. And we get an Indeed. We
get a really interesting shot of someone that makes me think we're supposed to mistrust him.
You know, I thought the same thing. What's his name? It's not Pierce. It's something.
It's the lead military
the colonel
guy
there.
on
Yeah,
the
I just blanked on his name.
The Alpha planet. It's this interesting, like tight shot, but they pan. It's. I don't know why I'm not quite sure. I think it's mostly just to put us in a state of unease.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where there's clear camera languages sometimes. For thoughts, and they did the same thing for a specific reason earlier in the season. With the guy from the president who was checking in on Jack when he made the phone call. They did some of the same camera shots, but that time he just blatantly called and sounded devious. But it's definite camera language that is, I think, meant to put you a little bit at ease or unease.
If anything, I feel like it's projecting Teal'c's feelings right now.
Probably.
Because Teal'c doesn't know. He's like, I immediately trust no one. So maybe that's the cue, but it's a really interesting shot. Are you taking a drink at me, or
no?
Taking a drink?
Okay, no,
good.
I was legit taking a drink. That was not quote unquote taking a drink.
Got it. But there's something to that. It kind of hung on me a little longer than it should. But it goes to show how great they've become at sharing that language with us. Like, hey, this means something to us now. Anyway, that's all. Just wanted to share that.
In Sam's lab, Daniel comes in right on cue because clearly he was summoned. Sam found a lead. So there was a weird energy signal going on for a few days before the gate disappeared. And they assumed it had something with the recent upgrade to the superconductor system. I mean, naturally.
Yeah.
And it does sync up with the surveillance footage of some lab coat dude going low and doing something fishy behind the gate.
I know you're going to go into this.
Around the gate corner because gates have corners.
Yeah.
And then to discover who it is.
Yeah, cool.
We reinvent pixels,
Super great.
which,
Super great.
as you can imagine, as two graphic designers, is like our favorite thing
Yeah.
in the world to ever happen
The biggest struggle
on television.
in the whole world.
That doesn't work.
Look, if of all people to do that, people who work in TV, someone should have put their goddamn foot down and said, "That's not how this works."
Because you know every single that is someone who is a designer and an
Had to do
animator
that fake shot.
had to custom do every time that happens on television.
How much screaming was there involved?
And I would like to think that every person who I am in their shoes who has to do that just feels like they're scraping the skin off their face.
Yeah. Pixels don't work that way.
They don't.
Once the image is blurred, that's what
It's
it is.
blurred. All you're going to do is re-blur it.
Yeah.
You're going to make it more of a blur.
Yeah.
You
cannot crystallize.
That's not a thing.
You cannot add the pixels where there are none to begin with.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's no. That's a hard pass
Now,
on that one.
if they ran like a quick little line of like, oh, we found it here in our rough feed. Do we have the high resolution feed somewhere?
I will accept
Some other
that.
bullshit like that. Or now we can take the still camera shots that it takes.
That's fine.
And find one from here.
I'm fine.
Like where they take the tape and the tape is the one that runs the whole time, and every few seconds there's a shot. And so it's like, cool, find a shot.
And you
between this
have
and this frame.
like a 12 megapixel still image.
I'll take it.
I'm fine with that. And
But guys,
it's hilarious to me that this is what we harp on, but I'm not kidding you when I tell you weirdly how much that this is.
well, I
this is
can
a hill.
vouch for.
This is a hill that I will die on. for
Well,
the
and
rest of
the
my
thing
life.
is too is like I get to do, our jobs are different at work.
Yes.
I get to be the frontline ambassador.
Who tells
Well,
them
who
why
tells
you can't do
The
this?
people who say, "Hey, can I use this picture?" and the picture's 150 pixels by 50 pixels, and they'd like to put it into a 1920 by 1080 monitor that blows up behind an anchor set on a television studio, and explain to them why it won't work.
I've actually had people tell me.
Things do a disservice.
I, back in the day, actually had someone go, and I kid you not, someone goes, but I saw them do it on CSI. And I went,
It's not life.
no,
It's not life.
this is a hill that I will
My
die
other favorite is,
an epic death on.
well, it looks huge on my
Because
screen.
I would like to rage.
I would like to rage. the other one is, we've got people working on old school monitors with and they don't like how small the letters are.
Yeah.
So they make the resolution lower so that the image appears larger. So they're like, this image is huge on my screen. And
Let
I'm like,
me explain to you how pixels work.
here's this thing. There's a concentration. It's like we need to create this great analogy for pixels. And once I find it,
I know.
I'm going to use it. Okay, I'm off the pixel. So thank you for coming to my other TED Talk.
Thank you for coming to a resolution TED Talk.
Why pixels cannot generate, why pixels are asexual and do not breed more pixels.
Pixels are asexual. Maybe that is our AKA.
AKA pixels are asexual.
Pixels are asexual.
That's what it is.
Okay. So Dr. Kevin Hartkins is the guy that we've
Right,
discovered.
we were talking about Stargate.
Sam and Daniel brief Jack in the briefing room.
Mm-hmm.
He's not super mysterious on his own. He's been at the SGC for 7 months, but he's missing and his apartment's cleaned out, so that basically spells out trust on the walls of the apartment.
Yeah, also, what kind of douchebag is named Dr. Kevin? Sorry, I just don't like this guy. I'm sure there's plenty of doctors that are great that are named Dr. Kevin. But I'm sorry, your name's Dr. Kevin.
I mean, his name is Dr. Harkins.
I decided that he goes by Dr. Kevin
Okay.
because he's a douchebag.
That's fine.
Yeah. Like, let me clarify. There's nothing wrong with the name Kevin. I just think he goes by Dr. Kevin.
Gotcha. We've just
And he's
invented
a
his
douchebag.
backstory.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. It sounds basically
It's like the teacher who's like, "Hey man, call me by my first name," and it's like, "Nah, bro,
no, bro,
I'm gonna call you professor."
because you're professor.
Yeah.
The trust has been busy. The NID has been clean of all these rogue agents for over a year now. The NID is now a clean run system.
Yeah.
But there's still some ex-agents that were of the Grody type
Yeah.
that are still missing. And they don't know where they get their money from right now. It's all secret shadow organizations. But if you can steal a gate, probably you can steal whatever money you need.
Yeah. You're probably doing fine in the steal thieves department. In the take these things.
You're pretty good at stealing shit.
Yeah.
You have an advanced degree in stealology.
Yeah, in steelomatics.
Sam has a theory that it wasn't super easy to steal the gate. Good theory, Sam.
You think?
So having Asgard beaming technology doesn't make it.
Sam's like, go with me on this one. The gate is not easy to steal. And they're all like, yeah, no, we're there. No, but listen.
We live there.
Yeah.
This is the home that we are. The Asgard beaming tech is really cool and all, but half the reason why it's so powerful is because it pairs with the Asgard sensors, which the Prometheus does not have.
It's like if you have the complete set, you're golden.
Good. And
collect all 5.
Right now they need a ping to latch onto. And which is what Sam is fairly sure what Dr. Kevin hid behind the corner of the Stargate.
It's like basically he installed the Find My iPhone option onto the Stargate.
Yes.
So that then they could swoopsies in and
they could wipe the Stargate from a distance.
Yes, exactly.
So Sam can now use the NSA satellites to detect the signal. And I'm like, really, SGC? You don't have your own satellites in orbit?
Right.
You have to use NSAs?
Have we not learned to not trust anyone by now?
Really, Stargate, at this point, how many years in, when you work with space shit,
Literally,
and there's
that's
like
all you do.
Top secret space shit going on
if anything
in orbit that you don't have your own satellites?
Maybe they do, but they're so secret that they don't even talk to each other about them.
I'm like, come on.
It's a little silly.
Also, you work underneath NORAD. You have to go to NSA satellites. You can't use like Air Force satellites.
Right.
If you
At this point, why aren't they using your satellites? Like, why aren't they like, oh, we're using the SGC satellites?
I mean, you work in secret radar telemetry.
Or like telemetry.
So Teal'c gets back to the planet where the Jaffa had their conference, and everyone is dead. Except for Mazel, who we last saw in Death Note, because he got there after.
Yeah.
And right before Teal'c, basically, and affirms everyone is dead.
Yeah.
On the planet.
It's dead time.
It's dead time. So Stargate.
It's like nap time, but far more permanent.
Far more bad. So Stargate SWAT surrounds what's the word I'm looking for? Warehouse.
See, I like to call it black SUV time. Because I feel like we all know enough by now that if you see a line of black SUVs,
it's not good.
She's gonna hit the fan.
I just like Stargate SWAT. It's not normal SWAT.
Yeah,
Stargate SWAT.
Stargate SWAT. Yeah.
Complete with SWAT Sam and SWAT Daniel action figures.
Yeah. And I love her
jeans and
SWAT.
Zats.
Yeah, and leather jackets.
Yeah.
That's SWAT gear.
SWAT gear. And they blow a door. They send in some shock grenades. The place is empty. There's still equipment here, including some VX rockets and some methyl phosphonolic acid.
Methylphosphonolic
Snare gas.
acid. I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
Methylphosphonolic.
I don't even know if I copied that word letter for letter. And Daniel carefully puts it back down.
Don't touch that. Got it.
It's enough to kill several 100,000 people. And it turns out there is one dude left behind the truck, and a firefight ensues, and the guy goes down, as does one of the nerves gas canisters.
Yep.
And it's too late to do anything, Sam says. And they should dead now.
Yeah. We're done. We're fucked.
So that's weird. I mean, I'll take it, but that's weird. I mean, maybe Sam's wrong, but yeah, most likely the nerve gas is broken.
Something's clearly not what they think it is.
I just like the idea of Sam's like, that's weird. Maybe it's broken. Not, I might be wrong on what chemical it is.
That's weird. I'm never wrong. I'm Lady Zap Brannigan. I'm never wrong.
So Mazel brings Teal'c to the Jaffa camp, and it's just dead bodies for as far as you can see. And Teal'c breaks a little inside.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, imagine
He-
that because they look like the fall of Pompeii. Like
It does.
It just looks. None of them were
felt
fighting.
what they were doing. Yeah. And Teal'c just kind of shoves those emotions back down deep inside.
Yep. Push them down real far.
Real far. Back in the briefing room, they show photos of the warehouse to Jack. And yeah, Sam was wrong. It's not nerve gas. It's symbiote poison.
She's like, that's what I meant.
And I love even like Jack hearing that, he puts the vial down, he like wipes his hands off.
He's like, cool. Don't touch that ever again. Bye.
So what we have, we have some symbiote poison on Earth, but we agreed not to use it unless it was super desperate situations, because it also kills Jaffa.
Yeah.
Because they
And
have
we like-
symbiotes too.
We like the Rebel Jaffa.
We like Jaffa.
They're our friends.
And now they have a Stargate, they have rockets, and they have poison. So it's a great combination.
Yikes.
Pretty sure the Trust is going to launch large-scale attacks, not giving two shits about any Jaffa that would be killed in the process.
Mm.
And they only zatted the guy that they found, and shocker, he's not saying anything. But he was stupidly carrying his Area 51 badge with him.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Don't carry your ID with you when you're doing weird illegal shit.
Here's my thing too with the Area 51 badge.
Yeah.
It's unmarked.
Yes.
Which you would think is a good way to be secure.
Yeah.
But if I see an unmarked badge, that's more suspicious to me.
It's like when I go to Vegas, the airport at Vegas is like right next to the Strip.
Yeah.
And so I've been in, I forget the name. There's a club at the top of Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
That's like secret entrance, but not really because they invite people. But anyway,
Sure.
It looks like the inside of a Genie's Bottle bar, super rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's like Prince used to go there and just like have impromptu concerts and shit. And it's directly, you can see right across the boulevard, the Strip, you can see there's small unmarked jets.
Yeah.
Like they don't even have tail numbers on them.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, see,
And the thing I was told is that those are the jets that go to Area 51.
Interesting. See, here's my thing. I think it's more stealthy.
Yeah.
Not if you have unmarked things, but if you have wrongly marked things.
Exactly.
Like, if I'm sending planes to Area 51, I'm going to throw up the Virgin Atlantic thing out there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because no one's going to question that. But if you see an unmarked plane, you're like, why is that plane
Why
unmarked?
is it unmarked?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then if people just know there's certain numbers that are out of commission.
Yeah.
So it's like Virgin Atlantic number, blah, 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 blah,
42.
Area 51. You know what I mean? So that in your brain, you know that, oh, got it. That's
51,
not.
51, 51.
Yeah. Nothing quite so obvious. But this idea that, like, there's certain planes that you
424251.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not that weird.
So field
I
trip
was trying
time.
to remember the numbers for Lost.
Oh,
I have no idea.
4816 something 42
Words, I don't know.
something.
Help me, Hurley.
Field trip time. There is.
Oh, wait.
16,
Bartender Nick knows the numbers.
24, 42.
Ooh,
4,
those might
8,
be right.
16, 24, 32.
You missed
42.
the number.
I probably
4,
did.
8, 6. Anyways,
4,
Field trip.
8, 15, 16, 24, 42.
okay.
4, 8, 15, 16. No, I need to know this now. 4, 8, 15, 16, 24,
42. 42.
42. I'm going to look this up.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep moving.
So field trip time. There's a tiny bit of like feather fluffing between Dr. Brooksdale and Sam. She's like, you guys would compromise, and he's like, bitch, we didn't lose the Stargate.
This is a fun negotiation.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so close.
Are we?
So close, Bartender Nick was only off by one number.
Oh.
Which
So-
one?
Instead of 24, it's 23.
Oh, so close.
Dang. Okay.
Okay. So, security at Area 51 is so top notch that you can't even bring your street clothes in. Like nothing crosses the barrier. And Osiris's wrist Asgard beamer bracelet was brought here after she was captured last year. And Brooksdale's like, yeah, and it's still here.
This
Daniel's
guy,
like-
I want to punch him in his stupid face.
Daniel's like, can we see that it's still here, like with our own eyeballs?
Yeah, and test it with our own eyeballs.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy at the Alpha site, they've independently established that all of these Jaffa were killed with the Tok'ra symbiote poison. And Pierce knew that the Tok'ra were like out of this alliance, but he never thought that they'd stoop to the level of killing a couple million Jaffa to get to their point. And Mazel runs into the room in full rage that 3 more Gould planets were attacked. Millions of Jaffa are dead. And in Area 51, Bricksteel leads him to the super secure evidence locker and shows him some Gould goodies, and including Osiris's wrist device. Sam checks it just to be sure. She's bitten by this once before. And yeah, it's real.
Yeah, this is I don't know. It's a really uncomfortable thing to see everybody having to work apart from each other.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that D&D feeling of like, don't split the party.
Don't split the party.
Don't split the party. Luckily, they're all so well connected that, Teal'c figures out the thing that Sam would have told him to figure out.
And like later calls it at the exact right time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's produced with this great symmetry.
Yeah.
But it almost feels like they're so good.
It's a little too on the nose.
They're so good at this. Yeah.
And so apparently at Area 51, they had been trying to use the wrist device to beam onto, they're assuming Osiris's ship is still in orbit around the planet, cloaked and just chilling there. And the wrist device doesn't just want to detect Naquita in your stream like a lot of the Gould devices do. This one wants like specific Gould DNA.
Yikes.
So it's been a no joy so far.
Yay.
And meanwhile, Mazel is pissed.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Alpha site. He wants to go make the Tok'ra pay now. And Teal'c is about 2 steps behind him on that like revenge
About to
raid.
this, like the I would like to rage feeling of feels.
And Pierce is like trying to get them to put a couple logical thoughts together in that.
I'll give him credit. He keeps his cool here. He's like, wait a minute. There's got to be a reason this is happening.
This happened right after we lost contact with Earth. That is not a very good coincidence.
Yeah. He's not the leader of the Alpha site for no reason.
Exactly.
He clearly is helping things out.
And that thought at least is enough to make Teal'c pause. And they can't just ring up the Tok'ra anymore, unfortunately. There's been they've been slippery. They've been elusive since the Alliance fell.
Oh,
and
Tok'ras.
they don't know where the Tok'ra base is. They don't really know how to get in contact with them. They don't really know what the movements have been. But Teal'c thinks his best guess is there's an undercover operative named Zarin commanding one of Ball's bases. Pierce is like, that's
sorry, Ball's bases. I'm done.
They're very sweaty.
General Ball bases.
Ball bases.
and Pierce is like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get caught.
He's like, that's exactly my plan.
Yeah, that's literally like, that's the plan. That's how we're gonna get taken to Zarin. And we could also, we might just get killed, but we won't know till we get there.
Yeah.
50-50 shot. Listen, we're either going to roll in that 1 or we're going to roll in that 20.
Wait, look. We've been here for a long time.
We're here for a good time.
Boom. Let's get it.
So back on Earth. And Brickstale's in the pocket of Big Trust.
Of course.
And he's trying to back out.
He's also really bad at it.
So
he's not good at this like subterfuge or
he's so bad. His contract says it's too late, basically. He took the money.
Yeah. You've already sold your soul to the devil.
We live here now.
Yeah.
And he tells his contact Baldy that the SGC came to look for the hand device, and he's like, wait, and then you set up a meeting after the SGC contacted you? You were clearly followed.
I'm surprised they didn't just kill him.
Yeah. The Stargate SWAT comes up, and Baldy starts shooting. He gets into a building. The SWAT comes in, arrests Brickstale very easily.
Yeah. He's like, no, stop. Don't. Kill me.
Go after Baldy. He it shoots his way essentially through the building and out the other side. Does a bit of roof running, some basic parkour, jumps to a crash pad behind a dumpster conveniently so he can roll off and then come back around the dumpster, which would be so much goddamn fun.
Yeah.
He presses a button on the little remote and Sam zats him.
It's like, motherfucker, come back here.
She comes around, she picks up the remote, and she is beamed away.
Yeah.
To a gold ship.
Unfortunately for her, there's a satellite delay on this device. This sucks.
It is a gold ship filled with Earth technology, and she's immediately zatted as she turns around.
Cool.
Seeing, I think his name is Jennings, just other guy.
Yeah, other douchebag.
Also in the cargo room is a Stargate, our Stargate, and some of those VX rockets. So this is a good combination.
It's like, oh look, we've been looking for all this stuff. It's like we just made it into the couch cushions.
Yeah.
Welcome to the couch cushions ship. For all your lost shit goes. Or for us, it's not even in the couch cushions, but things end up underneath the couch.
In the couch.
So one time recently, I lifted our couch to sweep underneath it, and I had to literally. I know. Don't tell anyone.
Oh no, I'm more just like that's a scary thing.
Well, so
fine.
As I do this, the inside of the couch sounds like one of those rain-making machines because every toy the dogs have ever owned just kind of goes through the wires
inside the couch,
and then it just all falls to the part.
It's like Plinko.
Yeah,
it's the Plinko of dog toys.
Way down, and I'm like, well, no wonder it looks like my dogs never have any toys because they're all either in the couch or in the dirt outside. Because they're like outside toy, and I'm like, no, inside toy. They're like, no, outside toy. Like, no, Mama said inside toy. They're like, no, Mama,
outside toy.
It's like, you know what? Fine, do whatever you want.
I'm not fighting this.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since seen the inside of a good old pyramid ship.
Mm-hmm.
Some Jaffa come to tell Zarin that they've captured the Shulval Teal'c and some other dude.
Yeah.
And
his bud.
And was she just like sitting in the throne room doing nothing?
She's just being a bad bitch that she is. Like, fuck yes. I kind of love her.
It does kind of seem like maybe a boring job, though.
Well, I think she's just working on like her poses.
Oh yeah, she does have really good poses.
She's just taking a break, you know.
And we do see by her reaction to this news that she's actually a Tok'ra.
Yeah.
So Bricksdale is back at the SGC and Daniel is interrogating him.
So let's take a minute. They parallel, all three of these scenes are the exact same scene.
Yeah.
And I love how we cut back through them all. So I just wanted to take a minute to observe that and to appreciate it because it's just like the cut to this guy in the interrogation, cut to this guy in the interrogation, cut to this guy in the interrogation. How are we any different than the other people? We're not. Yeah. Everybody is the same.
Symmetry.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
And Bricksdale doesn't know where Sam is. And I do love that Daniel has the guards leave. So you think he's going to be bad cop or something, but really he goes into good cop. Nah, sideways cop. Look the other way, cop.
Gray cop, like
gray cop,
not white or black, but gray.
Yeah, gray cop. Because apparently Bricksdale has a secret Cayman's account with $2 million in it, and maybe they can choose to ignore it. You may not get all the money, you may get some of it.
This guy's a little flat. I hate that he's all just about money.
It is, because the threat of being killed by the trust is not what makes him flip. It's the money. Threat of being able to keep his money.
Let's put a little more effort in that one. But fine.
So in Zarin's throne room, they bring Teal'c and Mazel forward. Teal'c doesn't kneel immediately. They just kind of knock on the back of the knee.
Yeah. Well, he's got to play the part.
Yeah. And Zarin has all of the Jaffa leave so she can question them herself. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say something that doesn't matter now.
Okay.
Also, he's Dornish.
He is.
Unbowed, unbent, unbroken.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
So she steps out of character the minute her Jaffa are out of the room. She's like, are you mad? Why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
Because now for her to keep her charade up, she either it's her job now to torture them and kill you before ball.
Now what? What do you expect this to happen?
You back me into a corner. And back with Bricksdale, the option of getting to keep his money gets him talking.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is most likely on the Osiris' ship.
Yep.
Yes. Because a year ago, people came to him. They knew everything he had been working on, and they knew about Osiris's ship. They knew about the hand device. They knew that the hand device is most likely the key to get to the ship, but they couldn't get that out of Area 51.
He was basically like, look, these dudes were pretty much going to do this one way or another.
Yeah.
I might as well cash in on it.
Basically.
Was his approach.
He tinkered with it, and he was able to beam up one day from
Yeah.
Area 51.
Mhm.
And the scientist in him hated that he couldn't tell everyone who figured out the puzzle. Which then I kind of get.
I don't know that that's the scientist in him. That's the douchebag greedy person in him.
It's
Like, I know that there is a scientific thing where it's like, hey, why I want to share things.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's that genuine about anything.
Okay.
I think the inability to cash in on it further.
The something in his head, his ego,
Yes.
killed him that he couldn't share that he figured
Fair.
out the puzzle.
Fair.
Because ego can be good or bad, so I'm just going to leave it with ego.
Yeah.
But he would beam up and down a few times and always return the wrist device to the drawer. So that really was the wrist device.
Mm.
And then ancient code that they had Daniel translate a couple episodes back is actually the command code to unlock the ship. Because Anubis had all of the stuff coded to ancient. So it'd be harder for
That
other
makes sense.
Gould to translate.
It all comes together.
And once the Trust had the ship, they didn't need Bricksteel anymore. So they just kind of, stayed up on the ship 24/7. They were able to beam wherever they wanted to. And Bricksteel broke the wrist device, basically. Or
How do you eat? Like, what do you feed yourself if you're just living on the ship the whole time?
You have food
You
beamed
just
up.
bring things up all the
Yeah.
time? All right. I feel like follow the trail of food.
It worked for Pete once at the stakeout.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And naturally, yes, Bricksteel can get the wrist device working again. So up in said cargo ship, Sam wakes up, and in true Bond villain fashion, they tell her all their plans.
Of course they do.
They're in polar orbit around the moon. And so it's interesting that the Stargate can be as far out as the moon and still read as being Earth.
That's, well,
I mean, it's not that far in
Yeah.
the grand
The big
schematics
universe,
of
yeah.
the big universe, but it is interesting.
it's not close. Yeah.
Yeah. They're cloaked. They're around the moon.
gonna
They're
ask
pretty
a
sure
stupid question.
Prometheus can't find them. Yes.
Is the moon further from the surface of the Earth than the center of the Earth is from the surface of the Earth?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. That was my
I
stupid
had to
question.
follow your question, but yes.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So they're basically launching chemical attacks on Gould and Jaffa.
Okay.
And they're not really worried about the Jaffa because they're just bred specifically to serve the Gould and enslave humans, so fuck them.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, that's not really that simple.
So how that works, there's still people.
They're kind of indoctrinated since childhood,
Uh-huh.
and they're kind of slaves in their own right. And, we should not kill them, maybe?
Also, we should consider ethics and when we make decisions that involve killing millions and millions of people.
Maybe.
Look, when we're considering genocide,
Yeah.
we should probably talk about ethics.
Yeah.
That's all.
And non-Baldy just throws out the whole just following orders sounds familiar line.
Blah.
And she's like, what about the rebel Jaffa? And Baldy's like, yeah, acceptable losses.
Yikes.
And to the Trust, the threat that the Gould and System Lords face to Earth makes this a very simple equation. It's like absolute Earth first, and everyone else can just.
All right. Let's make decisions based on like 5% of all information.
Yeah. Well, but again, to the Trust, to them, it's a very simple equation.
Yeah.
And they're ready to strike at the next target.
Yikes.
So with Zarin, who is like awesome, so now I have to choose between my mission and you assholes. And with that, like, Mazel just goes up and starts choking her out of anger. Like, he's still raging.
I love this too because Teal'c's like, no, don't stop. Like, he kind of tells him to stop, but also not really.
Not really.
No, you shouldn't do that. Come back.
Together, they accuse the Tok'ra of the poison attacks on the Jaffa, and Zaren's like, yeah, no, we didn't do that shit. Like, the Tok'ra would have told me, had we been planning that. Pretty sure that wasn't us.
Yeah.
So on the ship, the Stargate cabooses, and Sam tries in vain to tell them that, like, this is murder. And they're like, yeah, no, it's just war. And the rocket launches. And we see it fly out to the planet, and the Jaffa who see it try to shoot it. And we hear the explosion from inside the pyramid. Oh. They fire the rocket to the planet that Zaren, Teal'c, and Mazel are on. And she quickly crumbles in pain and dies. And Teal'c stands. He knows exactly what's happening.
Yep.
He yells for his brothers that they must leave. But no, because none of them there trust the Sholva.
Yeah.
And it only takes a moment longer for it to affect the Jaffa than it did to affect the Gould. And Teal'c is the only one on the planet without a snake.
God, let's take a minute.
Well, there might be some humans there, but the only Jaffa without a snake.
So first of all, I die free. Don't pull at my heartstrings that way.
Yeah. Mazel's last words, I die free. And Teal'c indeeds him.
But the other thing, let's take a minute to consider that, okay? An entire planet that you're standing on, as far as you can see. Even let's just consider wherever town you're sitting in.
Yeah.
Everyone dies except you.
Falls dead almost instantaneously.
What the fuck do you do? Holy crap.
Yeah. At least he can get a ship now. He doesn't need a ship.
Yeah, but you know, fuck it. Yeah.
He can
Jesus
go loot a bunch of bodies.
I don't know what you do at that point. You just cry and cry and cry and eat ice cream.
When your dog eats something off the floor that he wasn't there.
Yeah, cool. Quietly eat something. Quietly, stealthily.
So on the Prometheus, they're doing a grid by grid search for anomalies looking for Sam.
Fuck, that's gonna take a while.
And Daniel just barges into Brookdale interrogation room, throws a briefcase, has a ribbon device in there, and goes, make it work.
Yeah.
On Osiris' ship, the next target they want to hit, Sam's like, you can fire a rocket there, but it'd be kind of just a waste because Ball abandoned it.
Yeah.
And they have no clue.
Way to bluff.
Well, the thing is she may not be bluffing.
Well, no, but it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the only thing that will save them from throwing this missile at that planet.
So bluffing or not, she's like, you're welcome to hit it. You can waste a rocket. I'm fine with that.
There, yeah.
And one of them has an idea that Sam can help them pick optimum targets to hit with her knowledge of system lords, their strategy, their tactics. She can help minimize collateral damage. Save innocent lives.
Fuck you, dude.
And Sam's not falling for that shit.
Yeah.
But they do skip that planet and move to the next one. So in the control room, still no Stargate, just all the offline computers. And Daniel is gearing up while Siler finishes the details.
Yeah, no, cool. Let's split the party further.
And Jack barges downstairs thinking that this plan is crazy.
Yeah.
Daniel's like, I don't like this shit either, but I mean, we have to get onto the ship.
Yeah.
There's only one person who can use this thing. And if there's other command codes that were coded up, I'm the best person to translate whatever puzzles there are.
He's like, if anybody doesn't want this to happen, it's me. But it's me, so fuck, here I go.
Exactly. And Jack warns
Guess
them.
I'll die.
Jack's like, there could be 10 armed goons waiting for you. And Daniel's like, do you have better ideas? And I love the line that just because I don't have better ideas, no reason to go do anything.
Yeah.
Everyone is confused.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah.
And Daniel just has to shut down the cloak, disable the hyperdrive, and wait for the Prometheus-sized cavalry to arrive. Easy peasy. They'll never see it coming.
No big deal. Except...
And Jack says it's one of the advantages of a totally insane plan. And yeah, where did Daniel learn that from, I wonder?
He couldn't have been influenced at all by a certain older gentleman.
Daniel hasn't completely been slowly multi-classing as a Jack.
Yeah, it's probably Sam. It's probably
clearly
from Sam. Yeah.
Clearly from Sam.
I mean, not that she's any better. Let's go, Sam. Let's go blow up a Sun Carter.
I'm sure blowing up a sun's fine. There won't be any repercussions.
I feel like Teal must be like, humans are fucking crazy.
Humans are insane.
Just in general. These humans.
He's like children.
Nuts. Yeah. Basically.
And everyone stands far away from Daniel as he has his Zat in one hand and a ribbon device in another, and he beams on up. Thankfully, he beams to an empty bridge.
Yeah.
And he quickly sets to work. He can't get into the computer, so instead, he just pulls a jack and zats some crystals. And we can
Let's just shoot at it.
We can see the ship come out of cloak, and Daniel runs off. And it's just an El Cache. It's not a huge ship. Although we do see corridors in an El Cache that we've never seen before.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is a very big El Cache.
It's a very big El Cache. It's a TARDIS cache.
It's a TARDIS cache.
So on the Prometheus, they quickly spot the ship and they set course and they give Jack a heads up. First part of the plan so far has worked.
Mm-hmm.
So in the cargo room, they figured out that they've decloaked, and Baldy goes to deal with that while the other guy watches Sam. And listen, Daniel, dear, you're not a rogue. Stealth, not your thing.
It's not even stealth at this point. It's just this complete lack of, if we're going to stick with D&D terms, complete lack of perception.
You did not roll high on your perception.
No, like,
he goes
complete lack of awareness.
He goes sneaky, 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 and then zap.
It's like
he goes down.
You know what it is? It's like you could roll stealth, but the creature has seen you.
Yeah.
So your sneaking doesn't do anything.
Sneaky.
Literally, it's looking at you. So there's nothing you can do here.
But he gets headed down. And Business Suit Lady goes up to try to get the cloak working again.
Yeah.
So Prometheus enters weapons range, and the cargo ship is just sitting there. And they can't tell if the hyperdrive is down or on or anything. And Jack's like, just give them more time.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
there's a Kaylee under me.
Pendergast is afraid that the ship is going to run. And he wants to fire now to stop the ship and asks for Jack to basically give him a go or no go. And Jack in that moment can't.
No.
2 of his people are on the ship. And it's not just 2 members of the FGC. 2 of his people are on the ship.
It's Sam and Daniel. And this is fucking Shitsville.
Yeah. And Business Suit Lady makes it to the bridge and sees the fried crystals. And they sit Daniel down next to Sam.
Fried crystals. I mean, I'll eat anything if it's fried. Yep. Crystals, yum.
And they're pretty sure it's only Daniel because he used the hand device to get up there. And Business Suit Lady says she's not sure if she can get the cloak working again or not. So with their position compromised, it's time to get out of here. And they're going to take Sam and Daniel with them. And just as they're about to zap Sam and Daniel, the gate starts to dial.
Yay!
And the bad guys duck as the Koosh comes in. And as that happens, Sam and Daniel are like, opportunity, sneak attack!
Chance, go. Yeah.
And they start beating up the bad guys. Daniel just football tackles one of them. Sam has her hands tied, so she just starts like sweeping the leg.
Also, let's talk about this. They didn't even tie up Daniel's hands. They just kind of sat him there.
I don't think they got around to it yet.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
So Zats and radios go flying, and Teal'c radios in from the other side of the Stargate.
Yeah.
So Daniel gives and takes a few punches while Teal'c continues like, it's Teal'c. Is anyone there?
Yeah. Somebody let me through.
Sam lays down her dude with a couple kicks to the face. Daniel grabs the radio saying that they need help. It's me. Come on through.
Yeah, hurry.
Baldy grabs the Zat, and just as he's about to fire, Teal'c comes through, staff blast to the chest.
Ta-da!
Teal'c to the rescue, and there's a large hole in that guy's chest from that staff blast.
Well, you know, it'll happen.
And Sam's like, can someone untie me?
Yeah. Can I have my hands now?
Business Suit Lady calls down from the bridge with no response. She turns on the hyperdrive engines. And they can hear and see the power fluctuations down in the cargo bay. And Sam runs up and it's like, everyone get to the gate.
Yeah.
Just go to the gate. I'm not going to dial out. Just hover at the gate.
Stand near the gates.
So on the Prometheus, they also see the hyperdrive engines are powering up, and Jack still hesitates on giving the order because Sam and Daniel are still on that ship, And he asked Pendergast if can you disable it without destroying it?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't make any guarantees on that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say yes because it may not work out that way.
And Sam quickly looks through Baldy's pockets to find the little remote. She finds it and she presses it. On the Prometheus, they pick up that locator beacon, they lock onto it, and they beam whatever the fuck it is out. The ship runs, but in the Prometheus cargo bay, they have the gates and they have SG1.
Yay.
And he reports that to Jack, and you can literally see the relief in his face.
He's not loving this job at all.
No. I'm back at the SGC. The gate is back where it belongs. They're ready to go. I mean,
Gang's back together. Somehow they all made it alive.
bad news is the trust has an Elkesh now, but you know, worse shit's happened.
But we've got the gate.
And Sam's put jamming devices in around the gate so no one can steal it again. At least in that way. And they did get most of the Tok'ra poison in that warehouse. They still have enough for half a dozen planets, though. They have no Stargate. And Daniel says in retrospect that Jack should have destroyed the ship when Jack had a chance. And Jack's
This
like,
sign
yeah,
sucks.
that's a tough choice. And then he walks away.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. I fucking hate this job. Is where he's at.
And just walks away.
The end.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That part sucked.
Yeah, that was hard.
Jack's really hating this job.
Yeah, I think
They took the only part of it that he enjoyed away from him.
I think that Jack underestimated how difficult it would be to have the rest of his team out and in danger like that.
Right. And he never did replace that fourth person.
Because if that was members of SG3 on that ship, would he have been able to order them to fire?
Yeah, he can't quite separate. He never gave them a fourth member.
No.
I think he understood the weight of the job that he was being asked to do. He also understood that he was the best qualified for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's what he wanted.
No.
So it's a little bit Shitsville. I'm wondering where this is going to go for him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering at what point he goes, fuck it all. And I don't know, goes off planet somewhere.
It's either it's going to come to a head, and you don't know whether he's just going to say, fuck it all, and I want to join SG1 again. Fuck it all, I just want to go retire.
Right.
Or he's going to, adapt and learn to actually accept it.
Yeah. It would take a big moment for that to happen, which is possible. It is Stargate.
It is Stargate.
Holy moly. Okay.
Yeah.
What's next week?
So next week, normally we'd be covering the storm of Atlantis.
Okay.
But that is actually a two-parter. And I don't want to have to have an episode of SG1 in between your Atlantis two-parter.
So we're going to do another SG1 next
We're
week.
going to do Gemini, which is episode 11, the mid-season opener for SG1 next week. And then the 2 weeks after that, we'll do the Storm in the Eye, which is a two-part mid-season episode for Atlantis.
So next week is SG1 season 8, episode 11.
Yes.
Cool. And then after that, we'll do Atlantis.
10 and 11, the Storm in the Eye.
And then we'll be back to a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yes.
Got it. Ready. This episode was fun. It was interesting. Not really goes on the list. Yeah, it's just a fun one-off.
I don't think it necessarily goes to the list.
You know what this goes in the list of though? It goes in the list of episodes you can watch if you've never watched the show before.
I think it does, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a heisty type of thing.
Yeah. We do have 2 Indeeds, though.
We do have 2 Indeeds, yeah.
If my computer will, here we go. So we're up to 47 and a half.
But yeah, my list is unchanged, I think, for now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy to go to another SG1 real quick. I don't know why. I just enjoy it.
You miss having all my
things all the time
together.
Yeah. I like binging.
Yes,
what can I say? I am an American. I am a human. Okay, so find us on Twitter. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys again with another SG1. Find us on Twitter at Terra Podcast.
Find us at Facebook at There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email us at theresnoplaceliketerra@gmail.com.
And patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra.
Like us, rate us, review us on Apple Podcasts.
And yeah,
We'll see you next week with more SG1.
bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Pixels are asexual.
And the stream.